May I come in, sir?
Please come.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Parul,
Yes, sir.
tell me about yourself a bit.
So, my name is Parul Chauhan. I belong to a rural agrarian family from district Muradabad in Uttar Pradesh. I have completed my graduation in Physics Honours from Hindu College, Delhi University. This is my second attempt at UPSC, and my hobbies include cycling around agriculture fields, creating best out of waste craft.
Very well. So, have you spent most of your life in a village?
Yes, sir.
And you've also lived in Delhi?
Yes, sir.
During your graduation?
Yeah, it's mostly during COVID, but I've lived for some time.
So, how would you compare society and culture in the two places?
So, society in village is very culturally harmonious, while in Delhi we see individualism is more prevalent, and also materialism is more prevalent in Delhi. Gradually, the materialism is also building up in rural India, as we see. And with respect to culture, rural society is more religious per se as compared to Delhi, with respect to superstitious beliefs, I would say. And
okay.
And with respect to women also, rural society is more not supporting the women empowerment as per pace we support in Delhi and other metropolitan cities.
Okay. Do you think women's safety is a greater concern in places like Delhi compared to villages?
Yes, sir. In Delhi we have greater concern for women's safety, as they are more mischievous element here, and also the prevalence of individualism affects the other people from helping women and supporting women's safety.
Okay. Your family is one of agriculturists.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me, explain to me the agrarian class structure?
So, with respect to divisions in class, agrarian class we have.
Yes.
So, we have three types of farmers prevalent in India, that is small, marginal, and medium farmers. And apart from them, we have big farmers that are different from these three groups.
Okay.
And we also have a prevalence of feminization of agriculture nowadays. And so more I will read on that.
Okay. Any idea what do you really mean by small farmer, marginal farmer? What do these terms mean?
So marginal farmers have less than 1 hectare of land, less than 1 acre of land. I'm not aware. Sorry, sir.
No problem.
Confusion hectare and acre.
Keeping that those nitty-gritties aside, do you think the agrarian class structure has been changing in some fundamental ways?
Yes, sir, it is changing. While some farmers are more indulged in producing export-oriented products, and also commercialization of agriculture is taking place. And the old traditional relations such as Jajmani system are breaking up in India.
Okay.
And also the farmers are becoming they shifting to migrating to urban areas, and the agriculture class is more about tenureship we see.
Okay. What was the Jajmani system that you just mentioned?
So wherein there's a judgment that owns the land, and other person that works on the land is provided the grains and other food productions by the judgment to the land in exchange of their work and labor they provide to that land.
So did this system, did it have anything to do with the caste system?
Yes.
Or was it independent of it? What was the dynamic between the two?
Upper caste were often judgments, and lower caste were labor on that land of the judgments, jamidars, as we say.
Okay. And is it still prevalent in the countryside, you would say?
Yes, sir. In some parts of India it's still prevalent, such as Bihar, as we can see, and also in some parts of Odisha, and also in eastern UP it's prevalent.
Very well. What do you understand by, we often hear of a second green revolution?
Yes, sir.
What does it mean?
So, first green revolution focused more on paddy and wheat, while second green revolution also focuses on sustainable agriculture. Apart from producing high yielding varieties, crops, and very productive agriculture, it focuses on making farm to fork green. It's also known as evergreen revolution in the words of APJ Abdul Kalam.
Ji. So what does it imply when we say evergreen?
So it means producing crops in a sustainable way, wherein the water is utilized properly, also the crop health is maintained, and also the climate precision is taken care of.
Okay. Do you personally take interest in farming?
Yes, sir, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Can you tell me some problems that farmers encounter on the ground? Something, apart from what we all read in the newspapers and analysis.
Yes.
I would like a first-hand experience of what farming is like and what problems one faces in doing it.
So in my area, currently we produce sugarcane. It's a sugarcane dominant area. And currently the problem that is less talked about in news is with respect to, we are facing a new disease in sugarcane that is leading to its reducing its productivity, and also the varieties of sugarcane that we use traditionally are becoming of no use, and farmers are increasingly shifting to other varieties. And in the garb of this, big farmers are utilizing this opportunity by selling the new varieties at very high cost. So the farmers are facing debt crisis with regards to that, and also the government is not taking care of increasing the prices of sugarcane.
Several governments, they announce these farm loan waivers to address the debt crisis. Do you think that's an appropriate policy response?
So it's a appropriate policy response in a short term, I can say, as it leads to reducing stress of farmers, but in long term we need to build capacity of the farmers in a way that so that they can boost their productivity as well as their income levels to such a level that we don't need those debt waivers, and farmers have a sustainable source of income.
Very well. How does this, feminization of agriculture that you mentioned, how does that affect the social structure, you would say, and the, gender relationships?
Yes, sir. So increasing feminization of agriculture is leading to the women empowerment there. Women feel more secure. They have savings as well as financial inclusion with regards to their Jan Dhan accounts and the savings they produce from the agriculture income. Also, it is leading to more support of men in the household workings, wherein they support household chores of the women, as the agriculture work is often late at nights and days. So, and also it's leading to women having their own berth, while women are getting skilled by government, such as Namo Didi program, wherein women are trained for drone based irrigation and fertilizer pesticide.
Okay, I just missed a bit where you said they are having their own birth.
So birth, WRT.
Okay, okay, very well. So Parul, do you also see this feminization process adversely affecting women in any way?
Yes, sir. I can also see that, wherein women have dual burden of works. At one time they have to work at home for food production, food security, and at other time they have to work on fields. So it's increasing their burden, and it becomes more complex when women have a menstrual cycle and pregnant women. So that becomes more difficult, and also it leads to child labor at times of harvesting season. We see that is hampering their education and skilling part.
Okay, and why is this taking place now? Like, why are women increasingly, joining or working in the fields, like something we did not see earlier?
Yes, sir. So there are majorly three reasons for it. First is decreasing agrarian income, wherein farmers are having less income, so they tend to hire family labor, so the women are shifting to there. Second, so the men are migrating, so women need to shift to farmers in order to produce a sustainable source of income for the children's education, as the cost of raising children is rising. And also, so thirdly, there is increasingly push of the government to shift to women, as we see in Lakpati Didi scheme and SSGs for women, wherein they are trained and skilled in UP particularly. We have many schemes for that.
Okay. Do you think that the plethora of government schemes that we have for farmers' income, are they effective?
So, in my opinion, they are not effective as we need them on the grassroots.
Okay.
Still, there are many lacunas that farmers face, and also their incomes are constantly not at par we need with respect to how we are facing inflation since last 2 years and other costs of living rising in India.
So, what can be done to ensure that the benefits reach?
So we need a multi-pronged approach for that. First thing, we need to ensure that farmers have diversification of their agriculture, and second, so we need to build proper infrastructure for that diversification, such as cold storage cold storage infrastructure at rural level and block level. And so third, we also need to increase the technology penetration into the agriculture sector. It's mostly about tractorization we have in India, not other precision technology are used by farmers. For that, we can also utilize FPOs, farmer producer organizations. And so we also need to work on new varieties of seeds that are more climate precise, and farmers need to have a climate smart agriculture. We can also utilize micro irrigation portion for that thing.
Very well. So you've stayed throughout your life except for a few years in Delhi. Otherwise, you've lived in UP?
Yes, sir.
And in UP in a village?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you compare the conditions of life in Eastern UP and Western UP?
Yes, sir.
Can we say there are two different UPs like?
Yes, sir. We have a relative inequality with respect to the Eastern UP and Western UP. While Western UP has reaped the benefits of green revolution and has better infrastructure and better human resource, as we say, while Eastern UP has poverty more prevalent as we compare it to Western UP in terms of per capita income. And also, so the agriculture there is in Eastern UP is distressed as compared to Western UP.
Is
distressed.
Okay.
Especially such as regions in Bundelkhand we have. And also, so Eastern UP has problems of water stress and less utilization of education and health conditions. There are in a poor condition as compared to Western UP.
Okay. The state administration seems to be, on a spree of making expressways. Several expressways have come up in UP and
Yes,
are
sir.
underway currently. Are
Yes.
you aware?
Yes, sir.
Can you mention some of these expressways?
Sorry, sir, I can't. But government is increasingly working on ring roads and expressways in India. But I'm not aware of particular
Okay,
names.
but can you give me a sense like what impact you expect these, building of expressways to have on the society at large?
Yes, sir. It will work for economy of the society, which will help in boosting livelihoods and income levels of farmers, income levels of people in general. Sorry, and also, sir, it will help in more accessibility of education, health, and other social institutions to the people. So
Okay.
as the mobility will increase from different parts of UP, and so it will also help in connecting various places so that people have more integration of their culture and harmony in the society, I would say.
Okay. Now almost the only thing from that we read about regarding UP nowadays is the Kumbh Mela.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the Kumbh Mela is consuming too much attention of the administration?
Yes.
As if the whole administrative machinery is geared towards managing this event?
So I would say not the whole administrative machinery, but government has declared the particular place wherein Kumbh Mela is organized for as a district for a particular time of 45 days, and the administration is working in a very composed way for that part. So, and the attention it is gaining is I think it's needed as it's a Mahakumbh after 144 years, and it's celebrating the culture of India, especially the Hindus. and it's also gaining the international attention. So it's a opportunity for us to showcase our tourism and our culture to the world and also to the different parts of India.
Okay. Have you visited the Kumbh Mela?
No, sir, I have no opportunity.
Do you intend to?
Not really.
Okay. Do you think it is appropriate for a secular state to be organizing religious congregations?
So Indian secularism supports principal distance from religion, and I think if the state is supporting all religions equally, then organizing a festival as such, that is contributing to, as government has intended 1% of GDP. So I think government is good in that.
1% of GDP for?
Kumbh is supporting India in 1% of GDP. Government has estimated it to contribute 2 lakh crores to our GDP.
1% of the national GDP or the state GDP?
National GDP.
Very well. Who are these Naga sadhus that we hear of?
So I'm not aware of their detail as such,
Okay.
but so they form their own community wherein they live very isolated from the society and materialism, as we say. They lived a minimalistic life, and they practice their own meditation and other yogas as they want to.
Okay. Tell me, Parul, what is an akhada?
So, as far as I am aware of, akhada is a group of sadhus they form, and there we have a head there. One of them, the sadhus, is a head there, and often many sadhus they join that, and they have their own rules and systems that works within that.
Okay. The administration in UP had also taken a decision during the Kanwar Yatra, if you recollect.
Yes, sir.
It had asked the shopkeepers and eatery vendors to display prominently the
Original names.
of the owners.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that is an appropriate administrative measure?
So, in my opinion, it was an appropriate measure. It is asking people to showcase their original names, and it also, on the other hand, it's also working for people who are taking a very pure, they travel to Kanwar Yatra. So it just to mention their original names is just contributing to their purity and truthfulness. And moreover, the the people who are doing that Kanwar Yatra, they don't find any problem as such. Later, as we saw in various news and social media platforms, the environment there was very harmonious, as we saw later. Initially, there were things that it can go wrong, as people can have conflicts, but it was seen as a harmonious, and it acts as a role model for us to find the India's unity in diversity.
Very well. Talking about the environment, it seems you have an interest in environmental issues.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, at a fundamental level, how does the environment affect society and culture of a people?
So environment, while affecting society, it affects the people with respect to their clothing, their eating habits, and also the types of culture and religious festivals they have. As we see Harela festival in Uttarakhand that celebrates the greenery, and we have various harvesting
Harela
festivals.
festival.
Harela festival.
Harela. Okay.
Harela.
And in which part of UP is this celebrated?
Sir, and it's Western UP and Uttarakhand particularly, as my village is close to Uttarakhand border, so we have that.
Okay.
And so also it affects culture in many ways, as we see various festivals, eating habits, and various types of spices the people use there, and also the work divisions we see in the society are affected by environment there, as in people living in forest areas, the women have responsibility of collecting their fuel goods and water to fetch water for their family.
Very well. Are you aware of the Sustainable Development Goals?
Yes.
What are they?
So the world intends, and India intends to achieve them by 2030. They define various parameters that world needs to achieve in order to develop sustainably in a harmonious way with respect to environment, as well as it will lead to reducing inequalities and a more quality of life for the people living on earth.
Okay. Can you list some of the sustainable development? How many are there total?
17.
17. Can you list some of them?
Yes, sir.
Please.
So first one is no poverty, second zero hunger, third good health and well-being, fourth quality education, and fifth is gender equality, sixth is clean water and sanitation,
That will
seventh
suffice.
affordable energy.
Parul, is it right if I were to say that this concept of sustainable development compromises on economic growth
So
for the sake of the environment?
yes, sir. So I think it seems so in short term that it is compromising on environment growth, but it is not so. It is contributing to environment growth in economic growth in long term. As we grow sustainably, we have less repercussions in future, that as we see in extreme weather events and even some disasters that are leading due to unsustainable and unscientific development we have. So that costs get reduced in future as we grow sustainably. So it's contributing to environment growth in long term. It's an economic growth in long term. Sorry.
Okay. Parul, why is it that if it is so obvious that sustainable development is the right approach, why is it that we have not been able to adopt it at a mass level across the globe?
So we are working on it. We realized it later in 1987 by Brundtland Commission, as we need sustainable development. But so we are gradually doing it. But as different countries have their own pace of developing, as developed countries already have many emissions, and developing countries still need some emissions in order to grow and develop their country. So we are gradually adopting it. It's not a task that can be done in a day or two. So I think we are on a right track.
My question frankly remains, my question was that what are there any challenges that we face while trying to move on the path of sustainable development?
Yes, it's difficult to build consensus at world level to go on the path of sustainable development. Also, sir, there are costs of growing sustainably. As we cannot,
there are costs
involved in growing sustainably, as we cannot drastically shift to green energy. As we say, we need coal power plants as our energy demand is increasing. That's an example, and how sustainable development cannot be a drastic change.
Have you heard of appropriate technology? In the context of environment and development?
Yes, sir, I have heard of this term.
What is it?
So I'm a bit confused on that. Sorry, sir.
Okay.
I've heard it, but I'm not able to recall the exact definition to that.
Never mind. What do you understand by ecofeminism?
So ecofeminist refers to an idea wherein they argue that the climate change and the environment related disasters and hazards are differently impacting women. And they ensure that they also argue that the capitalism and the industrial activity, as we see, is impacting both environment and women. The prominent ecofeminists are Medha Patkar, as we see.
Okay, very well. Would you describe yourself as a feminist?
Yes, sir, I would like to describe myself as a feminist.
Very well. In that case, tell me, will it be right if I were to comment that Indian feminism mirrors Western feminism?
So to an extent it's true that Indian feminism mirrors Western feminism, but it's not true to the whole extent. We have a difference in Indian feminism, as we care for we have culture of India, and the Indian feminism is relative to its culture and traditions. Still it's evolving day by day.
Okay. Who were the pioneers of the feminist struggles and writings in India, you would say?
So in my opinion, it's Raja Ram Mohan Roy, as he was the pioneer of Indian feminism in modern India, and also we have Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was a pioneer of Indian feminism with respect to constitutionalism. And so we also have people like Jyotiba Phule, Savitribai Phule, and Kadambini Ganguly, who was the first female graduate of India.
G. Do you see Gandhi as a feminist?
Yes, sir, he was a feminist. He supported participation of women in salt satyagraha, and later also he supported women participation in boycott and Swadeshi movement.
Tell me about some of the notable feminist organizations, if you are aware of any.
Yes, I'm aware of Seva by Ela Bhatt in Gujarat. That is working for women empowerment with respect to their own protections of handicrafts and other things.
Yes.
And so we also have All India Women Association with respect to trade unions and other things. I'm not particularly aware of the names of different of them.
Very well. Can we say that feminism is anti-men?
No, sir. It's about protecting the rights of both men and women, but since women have historically faced some disadvantages and discrimination with respect to men, so it's about equating them and also respecting the rights of men, in my opinion.
Very well. What would you say, Parul, have been the key achievements of the feminist movements in India over the last, say, 7 odd decades?
Yes, sir. So we have increased women in higher education, as well as in gross enrollment ratio of girls has increased in education.
Okay.
Second, sir, we also see women CEOs and women participation in various fields, including the fields of space sector, as well as various technology in IT fields, etc. And so third, we recently have seen a reservation of women in parliament that government has allocated recent bill, and also women participation in a decentralization of government that at grassroots we see in panchayat levels is also an achievement. And also, sir, we are seeing the environmental movements with respect to women, as we see in Chipko movement, that is an achievement of feminization of women's. And
okay.
So first we see women participation in various fields in India. Their participation in outside their homes is also increasing day by day, both in rural as well as urban areas.
Okay. What was the name of the piece of legislation which provided reservation to women, which was passed just some time back?
So I am not able to recall the exact name.
Okay. Forget the name for once. Tell me, why did it take so long? Like, the first time it was introduced in 1990s.
Yes, sir.
Why did it take almost 3 decades for this bill to be passed?
So I think it's an appropriate debates and discussions as we need in parliament, and also a majority government with a absolute majority to pass the bill. and also the growing needs of civil societies, and they're raising their voice for women reservation. That also is a factor, and altogether these factors and also compiled with the media regulations on these are working in the favor of that passing that bill.
Okay. Are you comfortable talking about politics?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me, what is your assessment, like how will this, one nation, one election that is being in the process of being rolled out, how it will impact our political life?
So, with respect to positives it can increase the voting percentage per se, as the people will see it as voting once for both the levels of government.
So it will increase, you're saying, the voting percentage?
Yes, it incentivize people, as they have to go once and they can vote for both the levels of government.
Okay.
And so it can, on the negative side, it can lead to a dull engine government, as we say, wherein we have same party ruling both at state and central level. But we need education for people to understand that difference, and so it can also lead to domination of the party that is ruling at central level, more domination as people have perceived so.
Okay. Why do you mention that double engine government as a negative? I mean, political parties are using that as their...
So it's not negative as such, but people need to understand the difference. They cannot vote without understanding the difference that they need at their state level and also at the central level. They cannot go by party labeling. They have to go by representative they are choosing. That's what I mean to say.
Okay. Give me your assessment of how the revocation of Article 370 of the Constitution, it has affected our social and political life.
Sir, on political front, it led to integration of Kashmir and reducing the alienation of the people living there from rest of India.
Okay.
As they found themselves isolated. And on the social front, it led to more harmony within the people, and also it has led to more development of peoples of Kashmir with respect to their educational social parameters such as health, education, economy, and their development of women there, and also increasing tourism levels in Kashmir.
Okay, how will it affect the development of women particularly?
So the women are getting to see the various role models we have in mainstream India apart from Kashmir, and their education levels becoming more their education for them is becoming more accessible, and also government is particularly working on skilling such as exports of handicrafts by Kashmiri women.
Okay. I see that you've taken sociology as your subject.
Yes, sir.
Why did you choose this very different subject for UPSC preparation, compared to what subjects you studied in your graduation?
So there were two reasons for it. First was it has more utilization of the sociology knowledge in essay and GS paper 1 and other aspects of UPSC syllabus. Okay. Second was as I mostly lived my life in a village, so I want to know more about Indian society as well as world society per se. That would help me in serving better and also comparing my socialization and other differences of knowledge I have. So I think that there were two factors that contributed.
Okay. Parul, who's your favorite sociologist?
So it's George Herbert Mead.
George Herbert?
Mead.
Mead. Very well. He's written about the self, if I recall correctly.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Do you think our self, is being transformed because of social media?
Yes, sir. I think our self has been transformed due to social media. As we see various lives of people and influencers on social media, we tend to apply that in our personal as well as social life. That is I and me. As we tend to become more materialistic by seeing influencers and their real life, and also we try to compare our mental health with them. That is also impacting younger people with respect to their anxiety, stress and depression they face. And also, so it also impacting our social self with respect to our choices. We tend to have choices similar to the people we see on social media. That is impacting our choices, as we see fashion trends and trends on social media with respect to various viral videos and culture in there. So that is impacting our self.
Okay. Anybody's writings, on India which you've liked? Any Indian scholars or sociologists?
Indian sociologists.
Or they could well be foreign sociologists, but who've written or analyzed Indian society.
So I think it's G.S. Gurukul he has analyzed a caste system in India with respect to its 6 characteristics. That is to sum up the caste as a system, how it works.
Okay. Can you list some of the more popular books authored by Mr. Ghure?
Yes, so it's God and Men, and he has also written a book on Indian saints as well. And so one with respect to various minorities we have. I think the name is Withered India. I'm not sure. Sorry, sir.
Okay. So what does he say in this book, Gods and Men?
So he compares how religion is working, and I haven't read that book. I have.
Okay, which of his pieces of writing have you glanced through? What is it about his writings which you have liked?
So about the caste system and his the attributes to caste system, that explains caste system as a whole.
Okay. On the caste system, can you tell me if caste, is it like a uniquely Indian thing, or does it exist outside India as well?
So particularly it exists outside India as well, but it has different names, as also compared by Andre Bete as well. He compared it with races and classes.
But sorry?
So
Andre Bete compared it with?
Race in America and other parts of world. And so, but particularly India has named it as caste system, and it also has some particular characteristics as it is related to birth, but it has similarities with in world over.
Okay. And should we conduct a caste census nationwide?
So currently, in order to understand how castes have progressed and what are the subdivisions that still persist in that, so we must conduct it, but before conducting it, we must educate people to reduce the politicization and sensitization of the issue. I think, in my opinion, we should conduct it to identify the different positions of different castes, and also the issue of creamy layer in SEs, as has recently pointed out by Supreme Court as well.
Very well. Any other area of discussion, Parul, where you will like me to pose questions to you, which you think we've not covered sufficiently in our interview?
So I think the discussion has been very holistic.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.